Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here at my next Avatar slash Korra news update video. Got some pretty big pieces of news to actually talk about here. So I'll actually start off with the one kind of bad piece of news, negative piece of news, and that would be that the Book 2 Spirits Korra DVD and Blu-ray sets have both been delayed. They were originally meant to be coming out July 1st this year. They are now pushed back to August 5th, also this year. So it's been pushed back by, basically just a little bit over a month. So not too kind of big of a deal, but I suppose the bigger picture here is that this is the third product delay slash date pushback in 3 weeks. So one a week we've had so far. First of all, we had the core merchandise line. We discovered that was going to be pushed back from coming out over the course of May and June to a little bit coming out in June, early June, but only like 3 things, to most of it coming out in July, and then a lot of the other stuff still has to be announced. Like the figurines and statues and stuff like that. So the merchandise line's been pushed back. Last week we found out that the How to Draw Korra book has been pushed back from July 1st to September 1st, so 2-month delay for that. And so it seems like this is all coincidental and a lot of stuff is going wrong, but the thing is, this is 3 separate kind of makers of all of this sort of stuff. Like the merchandise line is being done by Dark Horse Deluxe, related to the comics. The How to Draw Korra book is being done by a different publisher. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's the first Korra book they're doing. And then the DVD is, of course, being done more with Nick, Paramount, that sort of thing. So all of this stuff has been pushed back. We know a lot of the other announced stuff isn't coming out until around this time as well. So to me, this seems like Nickelodeon have made a decision that they want to, for the first time ever with Korra, have merchandise out on the shelves when they air a new book of Korra. So Book 3 Change is going to be coming out in the next few months. We have no release date yet, but realistically it has to be within the next 3 months. Otherwise, no one has any idea when it's coming out. And that fits really well with their plan to launch a lot of this stuff around the same time. Because obviously with the DVD pushback to August 5th, I would assume that they will have Korra airing by roughly that time, or have some big announcements around the time to big up the sales for the Book 2 DVD set and all this other stuff. So I think Nick have some form of plan, but I'm probably giving them way too much credit, and they probably don't, and it has probably just been a few random delays. But anyway, let's move on to some more positive news. We have some Book 3 news at last. Came out of nowhere as well. Someone alerted me on Twitter to the fact that on the US copyright catalog website, where you can search for basically all the copyrights from all the big companies, Viacom have copyrighted the name for 2 episodes of Korra. They have 2 separate listings for Korra, and they list them as 201 A Breath of Fresh Air and 202 Rebirth. Now, first of all, you may be thinking 202, that's shouldn't that be like Book 2 Spirits? But no, the thing is, Viacom and Nickelodeon consider Korra to be seasons and not books. So they consider season 1 of Korra to be book 1 and book 2 together. So book 2 of Korra Spirits was actually, for them, numbers 113 to 126. So while we would probably, well, at least me, I call them 201, 206. 201 to 214 is book 2 for me. And I'm going to be calling Book 3 Change, 301 to 313, and so on. Book 4 is going to be 4 to 414, 13 I mean. Nickelodeon considered them seasons, so for them, season 2 of Korra starts with the first episode of Book 3 Change, which is why it has the number 201. But anyway, the titles themselves are pretty interesting. They at least for me, they make sense as valid titles for the book based on the little bit of story we know going into it. A Breath of Fresh Air is the first episode, makes complete sense, and that will be kind of reintroduced to the world just a few weeks later, but because there were such big changes with the spirits being around the place, humans being allowed to go into the spirit world and vice versa, um, that is going to be this thing where, at least for Korra, you'll probably have this breath of fresh air. For a lot of the spiritual people in the world, there will be this just breath of fresh air in the world. Add to that, maybe they'll do something with Korra's airbending where she gets her glider here, and they may play up that she's a lot better airbender now or something like that, and play into the air thing being in the title. Then 202 being called Rebirth, the second episode of Book 3 Change. Very interesting. The only thing I can initially think it could be is maybe something like the rebirth of like the avatar cycle, like the other avatars maybe come back. That seems really early. Maybe they'll do something like Order of the White Lotus, rebirth of that, rebirth of the dragons. We know they're coming back, or something like that. Some new thing is reborn. Either way, it's going to be interesting. Or it could just be that Korra learns more about the Avatar cycle. The new Avatar cycle, as she is the kind of start of this new cycle of avatars. Something like that. Either way, they fit for me. It's nice to get this information. A lot of people wondering, are we going to get the rest of the episode titles from here? I don't think so, because if you actually go onto the website, the person who sent me these links gave me the direct links to the copyrights for the Korra episodes, and so I wanted to go like, how easy is this to find? So I just went onto the homepage of the website, typed in Korra, searched by, I think actually found by searching Viacom, actually searching by the person who actually got the copyright. And so you got a lot of the other shows that they had up there, so you got some SpongeBob episode titles and stuff like that. They didn't list the episode titles for every single episode of the season. It seemed like they just did them in batches. Like I think there was like Winx Club season 6 episode 2 to 8. So like they didn't even have episode 1. So it's probably just something they do. Like whenever they have a new season of a show, they copyright a couple of titles just so they have new copyrights for their show when a new season's coming out without having to do a load of them. But again, I'm not sure. Some speculation could be that maybe they're premiering these episodes a little bit earlier, maybe at Comic-Con or something like that, and then the other episode titles will come out when the full release schedule comes out. But anyway, this is a good sign. We're getting some more information. Apparently Viacom filed these trademarks in January, so we just weren't, obviously, why would we decide to suddenly look up a copyright website? Someone just randomly found it here. So that's interesting. Final piece of news would be that comic news. We have the cover and release date for the Rift Library Edition. And obviously this is the hardcover edition for the Rift. Now this is announced really early. Usually the reveal of the hardcover gets announced, I think, just before or just after the release of the third part of the book. And obviously the Rift Part 2 isn't even out yet. Like, it's still like 2 months off, actually, I think, before that book comes out. So we're getting this super early, and combined with the Book 3 art book being revealed last week, and then all these release dates being pushed back, it seems like there's some idea to push more core merchandise, as I said. But yeah, here's the cover. So as you can see, it's a really nice cover. Guru Hurud always doing an amazing job on these hardcover covers, because this is a book they really need to sell it on the basis of a nice cover, and this one works. You've got they do the thing that the hardcovers do really well, where they've got the key characters on the cover. So Aang and Toph are the main characters with their main stories, and then you have the mysterious spirit that Aang had a vision of in the Rift Part 1, and we're going to find out a lot more about it in Part 2 and 3. In the background as like the villain of the piece, basically. A little bit surprised there was no Yang Chen on the cover, but I suppose this spirit links into Yang Chen's story and that's her connection there. But either way, really nice cover. Book is coming out February 24th in regular bookstores apparently, and also that would mean that the normal comic book store release date is February 11th, 2015. So obviously they're coming out next year as expected. We still have two books to come out before then, Part 2 and 3 of the Rift, before this book is coming out. But nice to know. The issue with this piece of news is that there's no full source for this. I saw a lot of people posting about it who post core news, and I was just like, okay, where's your source? Because at least for me, whenever I put up a news article on the site, I really don't like to put up news unless there's a source to go with it. Like, I got this comic cover and release date from the Dark Horse solicitations for X. I got them from Comic Book Resources posting this. I got this from Previews World or whatever. Post the link to where, the source of the image or info came from. In this case, they're apparently, at least I haven't seen the full source. I think there's a source for the cover, and that it goes to a website called like AboveTheTree.com or something like that, which is some book digital website. But I have no idea where the release date actually came from. It works because obviously February 24th is a Tuesday, which is when normal books are released, and then you go back 13 days to the 11th, that's a Wednesday, which is when comic books come out. And the date makes sense. It's a few months after the release of Part 3 of the Rift, and that is completely fine. So this news is true. I don't have really any doubt that it's not. The date probably could change, but the cover at least seems to be the final cover. Really shows how far in advance Guru works in this case. But yeah, a little bit odd with the source on this news. I'm just not sure where it came from. But yeah, that's the news. We'll discuss it more in the podcast tomorrow, Sunday, along with some other stuff. I think the topic that we're going to be covering is we've no episodes to review. We've gone through all the episodes there are really now. Our topic is going to be, we're going to discuss the cultures of the four nations and also Republic City. So pretty big talking point here: Fire Nation, Air Nomads, Water Tribes, and Earth Kingdom, and then how all of this culture came together in Republic City. We'll go back to discuss how, beginnings shows us the culture of the Fire Nation and Air Nomads before, as we know them and stuff like that. So we'll go really in depth. You'll learn a lot. I also mentioned definitely go back and listen to last week's podcast. I think episode 91 of the podcast, where our discussion topic was the origin of the Avatar and topics that related into that, like origin of bending, the lion turtles, balance of light and darkness in the world, Rava, Vatu, a lot of the big talking points that came up in beginnings effectively, and we went through them in a lot of detail, really explaining how all of this works, because I know there was a few people out there, fans of the show, who were definitely confused about continuity with regards to all of this stuff revealed in the beginnings episodes. We went through it explaining how there are no continuity errors, how it all links together, the kind of technicalities of it. Very detailed conversation. Definitely check it out, episode 91 of the Avatar Online podcast. But check out episode 92 tomorrow. Thanks for watching this video though, and bye.